The story of Peanut and Fred is not going anywhere anytime soon. I really hope it doesn't. In fact, I think the story of Peanut and Fred can become a fixture in American political history in the same way that Paul Revere is a fixture in our history as a warning of what is to come. And in our case, a warning of what can and has happened when leftists and Democrats, in the case of America, have too much power for too long and the government that they create. We now have an example of exactly the type of government that Democrats have been building over the past kind of century. We don't have to refer back to distant regimes of the past, such as the socialists in early 20th century Germany, or Mao or Stalin. This happened here. This happened right now in Kathy Hochul, Chuck Schumer, and AOC's New York. We don't have to try and educate our leftist and Democrat friends on the actual history of their party or their philosophy. We have an example of it. But beyond that, on our side, we usually talk about the unaccountable administrative state or the deep state and how they are indifferent to any kind of sensible governance. Now, to be clear, I don't think anybody will be disciplined over this despite the uproar and furor and public reaction, because why would they? I think that agency is simply going to turn inward, and they are going to wave a magic bureaucratic wand and absolve themselves and all of their agents of any responsibility because they simply followed their own rules. That is how this government is working. It can simply absolve itself of any responsibility. And it's not just the deep state that is doing this. On our side, we usually refer to the alphabet soup of federal agencies like the FBI, the ATF, and DHS as being the ones that are guilty of this. But this is the Department of Environmental Conservation, a government agency ostensibly created to protect the environment and wildlife. Yet it kind of casually and callously executed that wildlife because it was simply convenient to them, or they wanted to avoid an embarrassing situation. This is a lesson that government is the biggest threat to our freedom, that government is the biggest problem in our lives, that government is the biggest threat to our livelihood. So when you are talking with your left-leaning or Democrat friends about the subject of governance and politics and a new way forward, ask them if they want the government that killed Peanut and Fred in charge of their health care. You know I'm right. So please subscribe or follow so you can see me in the next one.